All right, YouTube, welcome back. The game, the AI voices should sound a bit better now. The female English one sound a bit better, and now we have a male one for male characters. Let's see how this goes. And 3 viewers, so good to see everybody. Say hello if you want, unless you've been here for a while.
Did I mess up again?
Crap, I should have had turned gather power there, I should have turned that off.
I'll cut you wide open.
Right, Lance, I'm to one-shot everything, so...
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Jesus. See ya, guy. Good job, Len. You're so awesome, Len. Just make sure my game sound is on before I make that mistake again. Yep, it is. Okay. Good one. Nice one. Wow, that's so sweet. Do I give you sanity and make you feel better and calm and at peace? That's wonderful. That's such a nice thing to say. This just makes you feel excellent. Thanks so much, I appreciate that. I'm your sanity check, I give you light and love. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I think I know why it's loading slower. I think there's an option to quick save on, like, freaking scene transition. I should probably turn that off. Okay, autosave is on. Is it on each scene transition? That's the problem. Well, you know what? We can just test that, so one sec. So autosave here, yep, before we enter the area. And then is there an autosave here? Not an autosave here, it's on each full area transition. Alright, I guess I can do that. Yeah, because I want the autosave to, like, sure, maybe a bit slower loading, but like for God's sake, you know what I mean? Because you your game, like, I can forget to save things, and with only 3 quick saves, I could end up just losing everything, so I'll just keep it on. Oh my god, so they added this option. This wasn't in the game before, yet Camellia, like... I don't know for sure because I've not gotten that far, but she's definitely some kind of serial killer or freaking ritualist killer or something like that, right? And you can tell because her battle cries are like super insane. But like you can't bring it up, and then she's like, oh, your blood makes me wet and all that bullshit. She's basically saying that. One of her battle cries is actually, your pain is my pleasure. And it's like, holy shit, dude. And she says it like that as well. She says it like, your pain is my pleasure. That's what she says it like, but you can't bring it up. So like, you can't go like, holy shit, dude, calm down. Like, what are you saying? So it's actually added the option to like bring this shit up. It's fucking excellent. It's the years I've played it, so I'm going to say this. I'm quite excited to see what she says.
She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes.
So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather, vocal.
Bullshit, Camellia, bullshit. Oh, by the way, I'm going to test this at one moment.
She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes.
So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather, vocal.
Let's try it +1 speech rate.
She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes.
So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing.
That's way more natural.
You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather, vocal.
That's not your spirits, that's fucking you. Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. Bullshit, Camellia. You're Horus's daughter.
You've discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the Gwyrm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendev society disapproves of some of his decisions. Would it be insolent of me to beg for your discretion regarding what you know about us?
Camellia's words are polite, but her tone grows cold and sharp.
Let us keep this as our little secret. I assure you, my father and I appreciate loyalty and decency. For both myself and my father, I thank you for your understanding.
Okay, yeah, this is way cleaner. This sounds way more natural. This is worth the effort. It took a while, but we got there. I guess we'll actually even want the speech rate of the male one to probably be 1 as well. Oh my god, you can bring up this as well, all our fucking BDSM sex toys in our mansion. It's amazing, I can't wait to hear this one. Well, Camellia, you say that is why you're saying these things, but I mean, found some quite unusual gear, if you know what I mean, in your mansion. And it is your mansion now that we know that's your father there, so...
How kind of you to share that you've gone through the Gwyrm's dirty laundry and drawn some bizarre conclusions. If you value my company, please refrain from making such insinuations in the future.
Hey dude, what you doing in your business? It's your business, you know what I mean? No judgment, just saying I noticed it. Also, I'm into a little bit of that myself, no problem, okay? No problem. I get it. Maybe I can use some of those on you. That snake bone amulet you have, that's quite unusual. Not usually what I expect to see in an upper class lady. Stands out from your whole outfit. Where did you get that?
Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice. But I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things?
Sure, if you say so, but I can sense magic coming from it, but never mind. As we know from your father, definitely of noble birth.
Camellia laughs her practiced, musical laugh, as she watches you from under lowered lashes.
You're most insightful. A fine quality to have.
Camellia's laughter ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence.
I don't know why I would say this. Probably because Camellia does kind of look down on people, but maybe I noticed that, and what would I think if I heard Camellia being an asshole in real life? Then again, I would read off from her that she doesn't act like that because she's noble. I would read off from her she acts like that because she's an asshole, so I probably wouldn't say that. I instead would probably say... That's number 4 probably suits best because I kind of like her good qualities, but then I think she's got some bad qualities as well, and it's fair enough. I could say 2. I'm either going for 2 or 4. As usual, I'll hit 2 and 4 at the same time. I can't decide. 2 and 4, isn't it? Yeah. On the brightness actually on my keyboard, so I can see my light up. Okay, great, because I kind of am a philosopher in real life, so the fact that gave me someone recognise me as a philosopher, probably 4 was the right one to say. Where did you learn to wear a rapier? I can ask some of this later. Really well for now.
I won't keep you.
The dawning smile on Camellia's face freezes and quickly dies away.
That's kind of to show her like serial killer nature. It's kind of like that Patrick Bateman when he like smiles and his smile just freezes and instantly just disappears to show it's like fake. He's 100% like a serial killer of some point, of some type. Just sitting with a storyteller, Darren. Right, let's speak to the storyteller.
The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely.
Is that you, my savior? I recognized your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation.
The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it.
Okay, that was way more immersive, thank God. Maybe I could also have that for narration as well. Also, yeah, bonk, 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 bonk. You need to bonk me a lot of times there, Magman. You need to get rid of the horny bonker and get a gigantic super mallet. You need to get the horny Thor's hammer to bonk me down.
Tirabeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabras that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I have examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabras did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside. A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed.
What is this blight concealed in the wardstone?
I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created. And it is hidden from me. I can only guess.
Man, that sounds so much more natural. We can smash each other, Magman. Oh, damn, I'm a comedic genius. Yeah, fair enough. I know what you mean, sorry. But I'm giving you some positive thoughts and like help you keep sane. That's good. A little bit in common with her.
Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers, and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals think this is impossible. But who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Balat Horemzade. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Discari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Kenabras. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone. And from it, to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound.
Oh man, this is just way more immersive, honestly. Way more immersive, and it particularly fits this character. I should really enjoy hearing the dialogue now. I'm not going to ask why they let him examine the wardstone. Why are you here to see the wardstone?
I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began.
In the fire, you were totally unharmed. I've been resilient to fire, but totally immune. Something I'm still working on. Quite frightening, actually, and grand power, and you don't even know how you've done it, but it didn't even seem like a magic you cast on yourself, you just seemed immune to the flames, so how are you doing such things?
The storyteller chuckles.
Yes, to a certain extent. But it is more of a gift. I can see the past. Stories that have happened. I touch an object, and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all.
That's interesting. So you seem to gain the power from each of these agencies you learn from?
The elf smiles faintly.
I am the storyteller. Just an old elf. And a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Nerosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Kenabras.
Well, I hear you. That's all for now, storyteller.
In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Kenabras. But the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go to where Terendelev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific. But intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there.
One sec. But I enjoy using that, it's fucking...
The storyteller nods gratefully.
I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Kenabras there is a manuscript authored by an elf from Pionin who witnessed Earth 4.
The storyteller's voice suddenly breaks, and he stops for a moment.
For personal reasons, I would like to examine it. But no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing Library I only found a mention that the manuscript exists and is held somewhere in the city. I assume it's stored at the Grey Garrison. They wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those crusaders were nervous about the strange blind elf interested in their secrets. It's understandable. The crusade naturally made them a little paranoid. But now the Grey Garrison has fallen into the enemy's hands. I would be grateful if I could see the manuscript.
I'll see what I can do. No promises though. You're quite interesting. Tell me more about you.
The old elf permits himself a faint smile.
I am not surprised. A strange, peculiar-looking elf with unusual powers who comes from afar and calls himself a collector of stories. Such things usually spark some interest. I will answer your questions.
I'm not sure I want to ask this because if this is the same dialogue, I'm just going to skip it. Okay, never mind. So why did you come to Wellwood then, besides the Wardstone?
Searching for the truth about my real past has brought me here. I saw myself in others' stories. In them I was called the elf in the tower. Now I'm looking for this tower, my tower, everywhere. I've been to many places, I've visited islands and deserts, but I haven't found it. There are very few uncharted territories on my map. The World Wound is one of them.
You look very old, like ancient. I thought elves didn't really get old.
The blind man straightens his bony back with dignity.
As you can see, we do if we manage to live for many thousands of years. There may not be a single mortal in this world older than me.
The storyteller sighs and continues with a sad smile.
Anyway, it's not about time. It's about the stories I keep inside. There is so much suffering and sadness in this world. And in my stories too. I've lived every one of them. I've drunk this bitter experience and accepted it in my heart. It's hard. The weight of all this suffering on my shoulders. But I wouldn't trade my burden for any other.
So that's because you just look so old. Where did you get your strange powers? Did you learn them? Did you drink something? What happened?
The storyteller shrugs.
I've always got along well with things. I used to be a blacksmith, that I know for sure. I've always felt the essence of things. Their spirit. For as long as I can remember, I have always been able to feel the traces of memories and feelings left on things by their former owners. I don't know where this gift comes from. Maybe, having taken my sight, the gods granted me another sense.
That sounded like he said for sure. Tashima's character model wasn't black. Because the fucking... like the AI definitely sounded like that. Instead of for sure. How do you collect stories?
The same way a court philanderer collects his conquests. The way a healer has a personal cemetery of patients he failed to save. The way every person, including you, has a box of secret, most precious experiences deep down in their soul, that no one is allowed to touch. The world is not made of things or matter even. It's made of stories. They move from the past to the future, piercing our world at the point of here and now. They give meaning to everything, they are the meaning, and everything else is only the setting required for stories to exist. There is nothing more real and alive than a story. And anything real and alive can die or be destroyed. Distorted. Forgotten. But as long as I carry these stories with me, they will not be lost.
Interesting way to look at things, honestly. You're not wrong.
This is why I don't often share my stories. By sharing one with you, I give you the right to tell it to others, to distort and embellish it advertently or inadvertently. How can I be sure you will keep its original purity? Stories travel from one person to another, they change, become distorted, turn into tall tales. This is why I keep my stories to myself.
Fair enough. I get that. You'd have to share it with someone, it's a lot of discipline. I could hear your stories and not embellish them, but a lot of other people, they just don't give a fuck.
That's what you think. In fact, the world is full of amazing things, and you still have a lot of questions. They just haven't bubbled up to the surface of your consciousness yet.
Oh yeah, and I said, I have no more questions. This purple knife I found it in Canabris where Terendula died. What was that all about? What did you make of it?
The storyteller reaches out and says softly.
Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it. Using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we are dealing with.
Right then, go for it.
The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy.
Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body overfilled with food is so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food.
You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions. Visions that repeat the words of the old elf.
Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud.
I surmised last time, and I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure this memory that we're hearing is actually Tiscaris, the demon lords. Apparently his mother was a kind of disgusting fat spider creature, whereas his father was like some mighty winged beautiful demon. Guess his father woke up in the morning, turned around and went, "Yeah, goddamn, what did I drink last night?"
Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Itcher splatters, the bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful, tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory. I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father.
The elf grimaces with distaste, his voice becomes normal again.
Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me.
I see the same vision you do I? Was that option there before? I would ask if the life belonged to a demon, but I'm going to say this because I actually kind of guessed it with the Scary the first time around as well, so maybe I do see the same vision, maybe I'm not wise.
The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired.
Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light. White light everywhere.
The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner.
What? What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather, might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you to cleanse the wardstone, or to destroy it.
Interesting.
You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands.
Maybe I should do that.
The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned.
Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or, is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes.
Heard your vision like this knife tempted me.
Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand.
Maybe the knife give you the power of divination?
This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way.
I thought you were just scary in your vision. That's what it sounds like to me. Who do you think you were?
I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done.
We kind of already established this, so... Do you think it's a certain future, or you said it was possible futures? Could neither of it happen?
No. The future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Oden guarded Gularian. But not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. But the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone.
Those are interesting.
A few minutes ago, I would have agreed with you. But the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed. And these changes frighten me.
Well, don't be a pussy, for God's sake. You can see the future. It's better than seeing the past. Nothing up. Seen worse than this. I've had future visions before, you know. Not a big deal. Now go on, try some of these items.
The storyteller nods politely.
Let me touch them, and I'll tell you what I can see.
Please touch my boobs. Cease to touch breasts.
The old elf carefully takes Yonil's sword, Radiance.
Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul.
After I said that stuff to him earlier, he proceeds to touch my breast and goes, I see a vagina. A cunt, even. Look, I just put my hand to my hips and look at him like, really, dude?
The storyteller's hand runs carefully over the scale that has still not lost its shine.
Proud Terendelev, protector of Kenabras. You devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss. But maybe I will be able to find out something about you that is unknown to your many admirers.
Oh wait, but it's hand on Terendilev's scale that I've got. Never knew you could do this. Bring her scale to him. Thought they were just resurrection items. And Finian, the strange weapon we just found.
The storyteller's hand touches Finian.
What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Ha 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 ha. Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles.
I've not got another male voice I could use for the people.
The storyteller fiddles with a fragment of a gold buckle.
An old thing, created long ago by divine will. But the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know it? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story.
Yeah, yeah, I think that is traumatized or something, the intelligence 10 twos. Okay. Tell me about... Well, this be the same thing. Tell me about the stone knife. Hunger, your legs. Okay, this is the same thing, I think. Sorry. Right. Well, I got a new story. Tell me about Trendliv's scale. Okay. New stuff.
The storyteller takes a deep breath and smiles.
I am flying. I can finally spread my wings. I am gliding over a broad river. The sunset has turned its surface smooth like a mirror, and I see my reflection. It is as if another silver dragon is rising to meet me from the depths. But what is it? The scales on my chest are black, and the darkness is spreading over my body. I wake up. A clear sky sways above me, blazing with heat. I am in human form. The red dust of the wound clings to my cracked lips. Someone is carrying me on a stretcher made of shields and spears. I am so weak I can barely lift my hand to my face.
What? Isn't that me at the start? No, the red dust of the wind. The whirlwind? No, that's actual wind.
The sight of my own hand terrifies me. It is black and the skin glistens like scales melted by fire. I probably ought to cry, but I only feel hatred and nausea. All these people around me. Out of sympathy for them did I choose to leave the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers. I went to the demon's lair. They don't have a scratch on them, but I am infected with foulness. It's not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Oh, how I hate them in this moment.
Huh. So, was Terendlin becoming like a corrupted dark dragon and hiding it? Maybe she did an illusion when she turned into a dragon to fight the Scary, and that's why she was white. My one hand terrified me. Only out of sympathy for them did I choose to leave the mountains. She cared about people and get down to the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers. I went to the demon's lair. They don't have a scratch on them. Like, so she's annoyed that they're not hurt, but she's infected with foulness. Not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Why I hate them in this moment. There's that dragon arrogance. It's probably fair enough because it probably is. She's like some ancient, ultra powerful, eternal creature and just some randos. But she probably wouldn't have thought like that without this corruption in her. The silver dragons can usually be very selfless.
And then I suddenly feel shame. No, no. These are not my thoughts. The crusaders carrying me are my good friends. I am glad they did not suffer. But I hate them and myself so much. Pain and hatred pierce me all at once. It's all because of them. All because of them. Someone walking beside me touches me, talks to me, but the only thing I hear is your mentor. He will come. He will help. And I lose consciousness.
The storyteller takes a deep breath, exiting the vision.
Well, I want to know what happens next, honestly, but... Yeah, such hatred from Tinder, but I gotta like figure this out. I want to see what happens next. Maybe I can choose that option again. What type is hand?
The storyteller puts his hand to his forehead.
Sometimes the past can be as vague as the future. We all know how Terendilev's story ended, but the beginning is hidden from us. Maybe if you find something else that used to belong to her, we will know more about her struggle.
I hope it wasn't the other scale, because I fucking used it.
However, no matter what we learn, remember, her soul, the soul of a true dragon, overcame every obstacle, endured every torment. She was able to purify herself. For dragons are truly powerful not only in body but in spirit, too.
Yeah, such hatred from Durandalev. What is she on our side? No, I get that, to be honest. I know where she's coming from.
Durandalev has come a long way. Her unit was ambushed by demons once, and she was infected with foulness. The Durandalev you met in Kenabras had gone through many trials and regained her former purity.
Okay, now, if I really do need to bonk you, Magvin. Okay, that was interesting. I never saw that last time. Not sure how interested I am in Finian, but let's give him Radiance. Hey Magvin, will you come here for a second? Look, come over here, look at that. And I just came back from making hot dogs and stuff. It was pretty delicious hot dogs. It's coming up to a new bit of the story here. After that I'm probably going to come to the new area. I put this way, scroll down and come down to this text. Is that good for you, Mag? When are you like ultra coming now that I'm saying come over and over?
The storyteller touches the blade with his finger. Sadness rings in his voice.
Drazan is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the abyss could still be restored to mortals. Now you are perishing, and there is nothing I can do. We retreat, no, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I'm standing still on the wall. I am covering the retreat.
I could do some hot dog jokes, I'm not gonna.
Demons do not attack. They seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I run to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with a golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Discari's spawn. Who wants the best trophy of the night? You know my name, Yanil. You know how many of you I have killed with this very hand. You want to curry favor with Darazand, Minago or the echo of your lord. Bring them my head, if you can."
I'm pretty cool.
Roaring and screaming, they rush toward me in a wave of deformed bodies and unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, spattering my armor with bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of battle, I see Joran's pale face down there. He looks up at me in desperation, but he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I am fighting for. I am covering the retreat. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armor is broken in many places, and I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slickened hand. He flies up but falls somewhere far behind the walls, by the road being taken by those fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Drazan, I'm dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Iomade, accept my soul.
The storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile.
I know whose memory this is, I've heard about her so many times. Yuniel was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing.
Oh, you hear that? You hear that, Mag, when he was touching her memories? Ooh. Latch on to that somehow.
Just one of the numerous possibilities.
The blind elf touches the sword hilt, and metal rings in his voice.
I slide out of the sheath swiftly. I proudly watch the army of warriors led by my...
Oh, it slides out of the sheath swiftly.
Tremble, city of Drizzen. My lady Yuniel has perished, but I am not done yet. Charge.
Okay, that was actually the sword, like, speaking somewhere. I am Radiance. Trembled, city of Drizzen. I'm not done yet. Charge, that's sweet actually. The sword is like it's awesome fucking inner monologue.
The storyteller returns the sword to you.
It is nice to know that this sword's glory days are not over. It has many battles ahead. Take care of it, it is a glorious sword.
Damn right, dude. Hello, Grandpa Elf. Maybe. Oh shit, didn't
At first I tried to break free,
damn it.
but I got tired.
Well, I guess I'm reading this part out. Storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. Oh, jeez. I am coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this is because 3 times. I know this because 3 times the light under my door disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table, and the bladesmith and everyone calls him the bladesmith. He placed a device in a jar over me, and it felt like I was being fried.
At first I tried to break free, but I got tired, then I screamed. But now I've lost my voice, though the pain is burning right through me.
The storyteller stops, his voice changes, becoming more frightened.
I think I lost consciousness, again. But when I woke up, the pain was gone. And I wasn't tied to the table anymore, I was standing near it. And someone else was lying on the table, a burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head, in a very focused way.
Yeah, that's you, dude. That's you, dude. I can see why that would be traumatic, and it's probably why he's forgotten these things.
I should have run, back then. But I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do, an iron star. My favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member.
Yeah, he's just denying it, basically, and I don't entirely blame him.
The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you hear only a muffled whisper.
Those crusaders, I was glad when I saw them, I thought they'd come to help, but... How? How was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath, I need all this to stop, even just for a minute. I just have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest.
The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses.
That's his past. That's kind of what I thought, honestly.
The dead have no future but...
The storyteller smiles.
I see an endless ocean on a good day and a boat, flying over the waves. I am so excited. But I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now? Or a soul reborn?
Thank you for the story.
The storyteller gives Finian back to you.
Please take care of this young lad. He is finally in the right hands. Do not worsen his suffering by involving him in dishonorable deeds.
Yeah, I won't. Worry. Come on, Grandpa Elf. I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't you worry about it, alright? You look after yourself. Come with your stories, I'll be waiting. You know what? I'll do this all later. I don't need to talk to them all at once. There's a lot of talking to do basically if I do that. Right, and since we are at 50 minutes, we'll end the video here and start a new one.